so last but certainly not least is our trip to Mortimer Farms, which is located in Dewey, Arizona. I'm going to show you just a quick video about them, and then we're going to have a very, very special guest joining us today. So enjoy.
Hi everybody, welcome to Mortimer Farms. We're so glad to have you here. Come on in, I'll show you around. Hi everybody, welcome to Mortimer Farms. We're so glad to have you here. Come on in, I'll show you around. Great.
Perfect. So hopefully you guys were able to see that okay. I'm super excited to introduce our next guest to you guys. It is our very own Sharla Mortimer with Mortimer Farms. They're in Dewey, and we're going to go ahead and switch the screen so you can just see her video as the whole screen. And she's going to take us on a nice little tour here. Take it away, Sharla.
Thanks, Katie. I don't know if you all can see me or not. So am I visible?
We got you.
Okay, well, I can't see myself, so hopefully it's okay. So my name is Sharla Mortimer. Thanks, Katie, for putting together that little video for me and letting them see a little bit about the farm. We're going to continue the tour here this morning and let you guys see more about what we do and why we do it, which is the really important thing that I want to make sure that you all understand when we're all said and done here as to why we're doing what we're doing. A little bit about myself. My husband and I, Gary is my husband's name, and our 4 children own the farm here, and we've been here for about 10 years. Before that, born and raised here in Arizona. My husband is from Iowa originally, and then his family came to Arizona, and I hit my wrong button here. His family came to Arizona, and then he moved to Prescott in '86. I moved here in '85. We met 10 years later in '95, and we got married and have been, living the dream ever since. So very blessed. Our 4 kids are getting older now. It's crazy. Our oldest is 22, and our youngest is 16. 3 of them are out on their own. Our daughter works for Arizona Cattle Growers. Our son joined the Army, so he's in El Paso, Texas currently. Our other daughter's in Houston, Texas, figuring out her future in life. And then our youngest son, like I said, is 16, and he lives here in Prescott with us. So we are located just outside of Prescott on Highway 69 and 169. So it's actually a little town called Dewey, if you have ever been to this area. You know, it's our little piece of heaven, and we just absolutely love it. 17 years ago, we bought some property there. Now I can see myself. Make sure I'm framed okay. 17 years ago, we bought some property, a little ranch just east of here on Highway 169, just south of the town of Cherry. So if you're familiar with central Arizona, we're just right smack dab in the middle of Arizona is where we're at. We raise Black Angus beef cattle on that property, and are very blessed to be able to do that and have a great time there. Black Angus beef cattle. We also have a couple pivots there, so we have a little bit of hay ground and farmland there, and that's where we live currently. And then the farm, 10 years ago now, we took over this farm property, and the history of this is that it is used to be a farm before it was sold for development. It was called Young's Farm originally, sold for development. The development all fell through with the economy collapse and the recession, and so the properties sat vacant and available, and we said, you know what, let's do it. So jump back in. I have a real passion, been very involved in Farm Bureau for many years now, and have a passion for ag education. And our goal was with this location was to really be able to teach people about agriculture and help them to understand why it is that we do what we do, and how things, how our food is grown, and why, you know, how it works here. You know, get a piece of agriculture to understand it for themselves. So you'll see as we go through more of our tour that we do a lot of educational stuff here. So from educational boards, most of it is, or a lot of it I should say, is self-guided, because we want it to be, no matter who's here or what's going on, we want to make sure that that educational piece is available and that people are able to see and learn more about agriculture regardless. So we are open 7 days a week here. We are, in the summertime, we're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And in the wintertime, when we're not harvesting all of our vegetables, that's when we are open from 8 to 6. But we still have our country store open all the time, as well as the farm park that you'll see here in a minute. So that's a little bit about us. I'm happy to answer questions. Katie, if you want to let me know if there's any questions that I need to answer, I'm happy to do that as we go. Sometimes it's easier to ask a question right as we're going around. And you'll see I'm not real planned out on this. I'm just going to take it, you know, we're just going to go with it. So whatever you guys want to hear or see, let me know, and we will take some more time and do that. So right now, I'm currently right in front of our farm store. I'm going to turn my screen around a little bit here so that you all can see. This is Highway 69. I'm sorry, that's 169 to the north, just directly north to the farm store to us. And then Highway 69 is up here. The corner is right there. So that's a pretty major traffic corridor right here. This is the Highway 69 is the road that goes to Prescott. So if you go on that, I'll go through Prescott Valley and go into Prescott. And that is about 80,000 cars a day drive by this corner. So it's got pretty good visibility, which is excellent for what we are doing, which is, you know, as you know, the agritourism and the ag education. So easy to find, very centrally located. And here's our store right here. This building was built in 1932, so it's been here a long time. It was actually the original farmhouse years and years ago, and then it's been added onto a couple times. When we took over the property, there was demolition stickers on the windows, and so it took us a year to get it remodeled and able to be opened up so that we could go ahead and use it for our country store. So
we have a great question as you're headed into the store there. Some of our viewers want to know if now that the state is opening, are you seeing an increase in visitors out at the farm as well?
We are, yep. We have definitely, it was got pretty slow there for a little while, but we're definitely getting more visitors now. We do fresh baked cakes, cookies, pies, fudge, and then sandwiches right here in this little location. We also do all of our own meat. I told you earlier that we have a beef ranch, cattle ranch. And so we raise beef and pork, and that's what's sold here in this little corner, as well as drinks, lemonade, sodas, all that kind of stuff. And then these are all vegetables that we sell that are grown here as well. So lots of products that we have here at the farm store. Just give you a quick glimpse as to what we do. We also do all these canned foods, chilies and pickles, jams, jellies, all that stuff. This is our honey section. So you see that it does have some educational pieces of it as well. You can see the bees and the pictures all there. We have a little girl dressed up in her bee suit, and then you can actually come over and fill your own jars with honey right here. So that's been kind of a fun thing. We bring in about 200,000 bees in the fall, and those are during the summertime in our growing season, and so for pollination. And so it's cool to be able to tie that in and show people the honey and explain that to them as well. Okay, if I have anything else, Katie, just let me know if there's any other questions. Excuse me, folks.
Yes, ma'am.
Trying to get away from the noise a little bit here. I've got some refrigeration for the farm store, so I'm right next to it.
So as you're going, you mentioned that they can buy some canned stuff, jams and different things. So they want to know if you own the canning.
No, I do not do the canning here. I actually have a canning company that does all the canning for us, and then we private label that and sell it here at the store. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about the canning as well. That's a lot of production going on.
And then as you move out to the garden and the farm fields, if you could keep in mind to answer, what soil practices do you use throughout the farm?
Okay, I will try to answer those questions for you.
I'll remind you.
So here we are. This is our main garden. This is right outside of the farm store. And I'll tell you how this happened. We've got 300 acres here on this farm. And my fields, you can see, if you look beyond here, these are all fields back here. So there's like a little creek here, and then across the creek, there's all kinds of fields out there growing. And our first couple years, I had all of our vegetable production out there. And people would come into the farm store and they'd be like, well, where's all this stuff being grown? And I'd say, well, it's being grown right there. And well, where? We can't see it, So it was always a question if we were, I don't know if they didn't know if we were being honest or what, but there was always a question there of where that stuff was being grown. And so I said, you know what, the heck with this. I'm putting the garden right here where they'll have to, walk through it. They cannot miss it. So this is our main garden here. We grow over 40 different varieties of fruits and vegetables, everything from strawberries, sweet corn, blackberries, pumpkins, tomatoes, squash, zucchini, peppers, you name it. Lots and lots of different stuff. We also grow.
Sharla, a question here is, what acreage do you use to stock your farm store vegetable wise?
So the farm store with vegetables and fruits, it's about 75 acres of that is actual vegetables for the farm store. That'd be everything from strawberries and sweet corn, not including the pumpkins, because pumpkins would be on top of that.
Awesome.
So it just keeps growing, which is good because that's what we're in. We're in agriculture. We're in the business of growing. So it's very cool.
And they're at the farm store. Do they have a opportunity to order online, or do they need to visit the farm store?
You can order our canned foods online. Any vegetables or meats you'd have to come physically here. I don't ship any of that stuff.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let me flip our screen a little bit again here. So like I told you before, a major part of what we do here is education. So we want people to see how the plants grow. We want them to see the irrigation that we use. So right here, you can see this is these pipes right here. This is all drip irrigation. So these we plant in rows, like you see here. This is chard growing here, and so we plant in rows. We've got peppers over here. This is a black plastic, and underneath the black plastic is drip irrigation. And then we have valves that we can turn on and off this irrigation in this area. So we don't flood irrigate here. We do drip. I also have a couple pivots out at the ranch. But the main thing that we're using here at the farm at this time is the drip. And it's a lot of fun to watch and show people how that works. and just let them see, you know, yeah, you don't see a lot of water here because most of it just goes straight to the root zone of the plant. And then I don't have them up yet because we've just been so crazy busy, but I have educational signs that usually go on every aisle here that talks about what's in that aisle, how it's grown, what it's good to be, you know, how to eat it, what it's good to be used for, and also you know, when it's ripe, when do you want to pick that product and how to pick it. So we found a lot of people don't understand, well, what is this plant? Does anybody know what this plant is? Surely people know. Somebody knows. Any guesses?
I'm looking. But while they're guessing, the question is, what type of plastic do you use?
It's just a weed barrier plastic. It's just a black plastic. We pull it up at the end of the year.
And one of our guesses was it a type of melon?
Nope. Close though. It looks like a melon, doesn't it? Melons have a similar leaf as this one does, but this is not a melon. Maybe if I show you a bloom, maybe that would help a little bit more. Anybody else have another guess? Gotta get the
zucchini or rhubarb.
Oh, there you go. Zucchini. There's a zucchini bloom under there too. So yes, this is a zucchini plant. And we'll have signage, and I'm actually going to walk you over to an area to show you one of our signs so that you can see what I'm talking about. These are beans here. Most people don't have a clue what these plants are. And so by them seeing and actually coming out and doing U-Pick, these are all tomato plants here. We have over 3,000 tomato plants that we're growing this year. So lots and lots of tomatoes. If any of you ever had tomatoes growing in your home, you might have 3 or 4 plants, but we're gonna have a few more than that.
And Sharla, I know that you're talking that you have education is very important to all of you, and the signage that there and the education that takes place for consumers who visit the farm. But do you also offer opportunities for school classrooms to visit the farm?
Absolutely. I'm taking you into my backstage here so you guys can see. This is one of our signs here for the honeydew sign. And so these would actually get installed on the garden so people will be able to see. So this works as well for education as well as for the public. People wanting to see how to grow different products and how when to know that they're ready to be picked, etc. And yes, we do a ton of field trips. It's one of my favorite things to do is get the kids out here on the farm and let them play in the dirt and let them learn more about agriculture. So we do lots of field trips, especially in the fall. That's our primary field trip season. I'm happy to do a field trip anytime, but it seems like most of the kids are ready to get out of the classroom in October and want to come out and see the pumpkins and do the pumpkin patch.
And they can register for those field trips online, is that correct?
That is correct, yeah, MortimerFarmsAZ.com. And we have a field trip tab there that has all of our calendar. You can schedule everything right there online.
And one of the teachers wants to know if they can buy plants, not just the end product. Maybe throw in about your nursery there too.
Yep. We do have plant material here for sale as well, mostly in the spring. Of course, lots of vegetable plants, and then some decorative trees, fruit trees, as well as shrubs that are here available. So yes, I have a selection of those as well. All right, so on to the rest of the farm. So that's just, like I said, one of our fields that we plant for vegetables. So this is about a 2-acre garden right here. We have another acre in tomatoes right over on this side. And then there's another field that's about 3 acres in garden, plus all of our bigger fields with the other plants. One of the other things,
and we quizzed them, Sharla, before we started. So I want to make sure we get that info in because they're post-test. So while you're walking, I know where you're going. So that's going to be one of the U-Picks. But when you're over there, can you tell them what other opportunities they have for U-Picks as well?
Sure. So we U-Pick everything that we grow. I also have it we-pick, which means that would be pre-picked in the farm store as well. So, but yeah, you can pick anything: tomatoes, peppers, squash, zucchini, strawberries, blackberries, sweet corn, etc. So there's lots of opportunities to U-Pick and to get out and see how plants grow and how that all happens here. So this is just a little bit of an animal area. We have goats and sheep and a donkey and lots of chickens. We harvest the eggs here and sell them inside the store. And you do get people, you know, just loving to coming out and seeing the chickens. They're excited to see the chickens. Some of them have kids have never seen chicken before, so it's fun to do that and let them experience that as well.
Sharla, we have a question about your employees. Can you give them an idea of how many employees you have maybe between the farm, ranch, and your commercial nursery?
So, boy, employees, currently I have like 30 employees. In the fall, in our main harvesting season, we will get up to, as high as 130. But full-time year-round, we do about 30 employees. So this is a little bit of our playground area. So we got a little zip line there. Part of our field trips is kids are allowed to come out and bring a sack lunch and play here in the park as well. So it's fun. They're excited. You know, I always figure it's easier to get them to enjoy the trip if they get to have some fun while they're here. And in doing that, they you know, remember it and are willing to learn more of the information about what's going on. So it's been a good thing to include some of the activities to do as well.
And Sharla, just a heads up, we've got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, boy, you guys are fast. I'm talking too much. So let me flip this around a little bit again. Now, okay, so we're back still out here in the fields. This is where we actually do our our pumpkin patch, and our corn maze is out in this area as well in the fall. And then I'm going to take you out here and show you some strawberry plants. And I think we'll have just barely enough time to run over and look at the blackberries as well. Now, I know in the introduction, that was our newest event that we just opened this spring that Katie showed you. That was that video of Welcome to Mortimer Farms, our animatronics show. That is just brand new. We just did that this spring. It was one of our COVID projects. So it's been a ton of fun to get to do that. And that's open anytime, but specifically the main reason why I put that in was for field trips, so that families and kids, when they come here, they can sit down and watch a quick 5-minute show about farming or about ranching. It's entertaining, and it's got lots of great information in there for the families and for the kids to learn more about ag. So I probably we'll just walk by there, but I won't have to stop because you did see the little song. So these are strawberry plants here. Boy, we've been having them picking here. Looks like I go to the other side of the field. I can still smell the strawberries growing and ready to harvest, but it looks like this area has been picked up, so I can't. Strawberries right here. Dang it. Let me walk over a little bit.
When does the U-Pick run for strawberries, Sharla?
So our U-Pick will actually go through September and sometimes into October, depending on the weather. And as it gets hotter, we have a little bit of a lull there, kind of in June, where we don't really get a ton of strawberries. The end of June, and then once the monsoons start in July, then we get more again. So right now you can see, I actually don't see any blooms out here right now. There's some strawberries. So there's a couple strawberries that are just still a little bit green. They're just finishing ripening up. There's one I found that's red. So these strawberries, they'll bloom, and usually you'll be able to see the bloom happening, and you'll be able to see the fruit production starting and get all the way through the whole process. Oh, there's a strawberry bloom on this little guy. Okay, so there's a strawberry bloom, and then you see the next stage is just a little tiny bud of the strawberry, see it? And then as it grows, which is cool to see on the same plant, you'll be able to see there's your strawberry functioning or growing there, and then it'll turn to this, and then eventually it'll go red, and you'll have a beautiful bright red strawberry.
And Sharla, I know the question was posed out there for your soil management. What method do you guys grow in there at the farm?
So we do a low till, almost a no-till, just strip till basically. So our equipment will go in and just prepare the area that plant is actually going to be in. And then like on this, in this field, you see that we're on furrows. So we do put up a little bit of a furrow and have a walkway in between, and then have our plants up on top of that furrow with the irrigation right under there.
And I know in the past you've shared a story. You used to grow your corn conventionally, correct?
Yes.
And then something happened one year, and so you didn't get to do it that way. Maybe share that story.
So our well, I'm trying to remember which story, Katie. Man, you set me
Worms
up
in
and
the corn. Worms in the corn.
worms in the corn. Yes. So we do grow, we grow organically, but we do spray every week because that's part of the organic process. You still have to spray that corn to keep the worms out. During the monsoon season, even with spraying, the spray doesn't tend to hold on to that plant as long because it gets rained on. And so we can still get worms, especially at that time because of the monsoons. So last year, we had these little old ladies come into the store, so funny. And they're like, they screamed and they threw the corn down like, oh, it's got worms. And my cute little daughter, she says, well, girls, you all want this organic, you're gonna get a little worm. Well, the worms are just part of it. And it's sweet if the worms are like in your corn too. So we just cut it off and eat it anyway. And they don't hurt anything. They do some damage to the ends of it. And if you've got it really bad, they will go all the way and eat through the whole cob. But you usually like to get it before, if you've got a better control over it, maybe they'll just take a little bit of the end of it. It's not a major deal. So I know we're almost out of time here. I did want to show you blackberries. So these are our blackberry plants. They are grown on a trellis system. This is a 4-wire trellis system. And if I zoom in here, you can see a bloom. Well, about 2 weeks ago, this whole plant was full of these blooms. And now you see these are all blackberries that are growing.
Yummy.
See them right here. See all that? And these will turn into beautiful. They'll get bigger and plumper, then they'll turn red. And then they'll turn red and then they'll turn black. And you'll know they're ready when they turn black. So these are amazing blackberries that are growing here. This is just one plant and there might be, 200 berries on this one plant. So it is in a very happy place. And we're going to have a great blackberry season, which starts the end of June, 1st of July, depending on the weather and on how these continue to grow and produce. So there you go.
Sharla, we sure appreciate your time. There are so many things to see at the farm. I hope people take the trip this summer while they're off and sign up for those field trips so they can share with their students all those extra nuggets, especially that animatronic show. I was blessed to see that just a couple of weeks ago, and it is one of my new favorite things at the farm. You guys are doing amazing things with that. So if we have any additional questions that pop up, I'll just shoot you a text. How about that? Maybe you can answer, and I can supply them with those answers.
Well, I just want to take a quick second. Thank you all for your participation in this program. I'm bummed that we didn't see you out before, but out here at the farm before with the field trips and the live tour that we usually do with this program. But it's a fantastic program and I appreciate being a part of it and appreciate you all taking your time to learn more about agriculture and to teach that to your students. I'm happy to answer any questions. Shoot me an email, call me, text me, whatever works out for you all, but I'm available here as well, and Katie can give you my information in case you do have any questions. So all right.
Thanks, Sharla. And teachers, we will have that information posted in our teacher resources. So you will have access to their contact information and all of that fun stuff you need. So thanks again, Sharla. A special thank you to all of our presenters for today. Audra with Arizona Queen Bee, Zach with Arizona Worm Farm, and of course, Sharla with Mortimer Farms. We get a lot of questions about resources that are available for teachers. And so I actually want to take this opportunity to share with you a 2-minute video about some of the resources that the Arizona Farm Bureau Ag in the Classroom has available for your classrooms to access. It is important to know, and I think I say it 100 times in the video that you're about to see, but all of our resources at Arizona Farm Bureau Ag in the Classroom are free for teachers and schools. So keep that in mind as you watch our little video.
The Arizona Farm Bureau Agriculture in the Classroom program is a statewide program that provides quality, standards-based curriculum, programs, and resources to educators, students, and the public to increase awareness of the importance of agriculture in our everyday lives.
Hang on just
Reserve one of Arizona Farm Bureau's Ag in the Classroom's commodity curriculum kits and bring agriculture into your classroom through a variety of hands-on lessons and activities. The Arizona Farm Bureau Agriculture in the Classroom program participates in a variety of events, bringing hands-on education about agriculture to the community. Have Arizona Farm Bureau's Ag in the Classroom program visit your classroom today.